Welcome to the Gravel Grinding Boys, a father and son bicycling team rolling through life one dusty mile at a time. It's the 5 reasons I ride a bicycle, and the 1 reason I don't. That last one is important because it clears up a big misconception, and also because it involves beer, math, and a questionable life philosophy. We ride the hard stuff, the fun stuff, and everything in between. Grab your helmet and your sense of humor. The ride starts now. Today, it's the 5 reasons I ride a bicycle, and the 1 reason I don't. And Travis is going to be riding with me today. A treat indeed. This ride from City Beach in Sandpoint, Idaho up to Bonners Ferry was his idea. He's been asking me to ride this route for some time now. This past summer, I did a couple, maybe 3 solo rides trying to find the best route and the safest way to get to Bonners, as we locals call it, because apparently saying Bonners Ferry is just too much work. The main route from Sandpoint to Bonners, if you're in a car, is Highway 95. I've seen cyclists riding that highway's shoulder before, and I'll often say a bit of a prayer for them. It's one of the most dangerous highways here in Idaho. By car, traveling from City Beach, Sandpoint, Idaho to Bonners Ferry, Kootenai River Brewing Company to be specific, is 33.6 miles. My bicycle route is 41.5 miles, and it's gorgeous in comparison. Travis, now in college, is home between semesters. The last week of the year, he asked me after a long day at work, "Hey Daddy, let's ride up to Bonners on New Year's Day." Now listen, New Year's Day is a day off for me sandwiched between 2 work days. It's going to be 28 degrees. The road shoulders are going to be covered in ice, back roads covered in snow. I was silently thinking, I'm not sure about this. But here's the thing I knew. Come sunset at 4:02 p.m. on January 1st, one of 2 things was going to happen. Either I'd be proud of my son and myself for making the ride, or I'd regret letting him down and missing the chance to spend time with him. A commodity and ever-shrinking supply now that he's in college and starting his own life. 4:02 p.m. was going to come either way, that was for sure. What I did before that moment, now that was going to determine my mood come 4:02 p.m. while I was holding my New Year's barrel-aged brew and a bowl of black-eyed peas. So you bet, he and I made the trip, and we enjoyed the day. But doggone, I got a bit cold. Yeah, I did. And my water froze. Yeah, it did. And I got thirsty. Yeah, I did. And all that suffering got me to thinking, why? Why at 55 years old, why do I bicycle? And why do I ride a bike the way I do? It's either a noble pursuit of health and enlightenment or a very expensive way to suffer in public. I don't know. Maybe I fall somewhere in the middle. People ask me why I ride. After all, Travis is growing up. He's off to college, and our father-son rides are getting fewer and farther between. But I keep riding. Why? I've got 5 reasons, 5 real, honest reasons why I ride. And 1 reason I absolutely do not ride. That last one is important, because it clears up a big misconception, and also because it involves beer, math, and a questionable life philosophy. So let's get into it before I talk myself out of creating this episode and go for a bike ride instead.
This is where it starts to get interesting for me.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see down in there, I've got some adhesive foot warmers that I've stuck on the inside of my bar mitts. Keep my nose pickers nice and warm. That's right. What do you think? Got to keep the nose pickers warm. That's right. Here comes a guy with a plow. Let's let him pass. Reason 1. I cycle because it's my meditation. I've always loved the idea of meditation, the promise of clarity, the promise of calm, the promise of becoming one of those people who say things like, I just center myself in the mornings. But I never have been able to sit long enough to find what they find. I sit down to meditate and immediately remember 47 things I forgot to do, 12 things I should do, and the 1 thing I did back in 1998 that still haunts me. And out of curiosity, who wrote the rule that meditation has to happen in stillness? Where's the rule book? Is there a hotline? A customer service number?
Press 1 if you can't stop thinking about what groceries you need for tonight's supper.
Some folks ring a bell or a singing bowl. Me? I listen to gravel under a bicycle tire. That's my bell. That's my bowl. That's my own. When I'm riding, something shifts. Breath syncs with cadence. Fault settles into rhythm. The world narrows to the hum of a chain and the whisper or sometimes the full-on shout of the wind. It's the only practice that reliably quiets my mind without me having to be still, which is good, because stillness and we've tried to get along, but it turns out we're just not compatible. If you're enjoying this video, give us a thumbs up. Select that subscribe button and give a ring on that bike bell.
There's nobody coming up to the right. Get turned around.
Reason 2. I cycle because it gives me a place to put my stress and a way to see it differently. Stress doesn't come from the world. It comes from my perspective of the world. What stresses me out might be another person's Tuesday afternoon nap. The way I see it, stress is made up. Not imaginary, but invented. It's a story my mind tells me about a given situation. I know this, but still, stress just seems real. Some people journal. Some people scream into a pillow. Some people buy things on Amazon they absolutely do not need. Me, I ride. Because when I'm on a bike, something shifts. The pedals grind down the story I'm telling myself. The wind thins out the drama. The miles dilute the intensity until I can actually see what's real and what's just my mind doing improv. By the time I get home, the stress is still a feeling, but it's no longer the narrator. It's sorted into piles. Important, unimportant, and why was I even thinking about that? And here's the funny thing. If you've ever had a stressful day and then after work tried to ride into a headwind, you know the headwind becomes the new problem. It's like nature saying, hey, let me give you a hard that's real so you can stop wrestling with the problem that isn't. And that's the magic of it. Cycling gives me a chosen hard, something physical, tangible, honest, and that chosen hard puts my unchosen hards into perspective. Stress may be subjective, but the hill in front of me, that's real. And somehow, facing the real hard makes the made-up hard a whole lot smaller. And speaking of hard, that's reason 3. I cycle because it is my hard. It's the hard thing that pays me back. Everybody needs a hard thing in their life, something that pushes back just enough to shape you. Every man, every son, every woman, every daughter, we all need a hard thing in our lives that we choose, because there's plenty of hard things that are going to choose us. Life hands out plenty of hard things we didn't ask for. So we need at least one hard thing in our lives that we do ask for, a hard thing that we control, a hard thing that we sometimes just have to talk ourselves into, a hard thing that gives us something in return. Athletes know just what I'm talking about. But we're not all athletes. And even for athletes, what happens when the season ends? What happens when the uniform goes in the closet and all the cheering stops? We still need a hard thing with levels, a hard thing that grows with us, a hard thing that challenges on days when we're feeling strong and meets us gently on the days we don't feel so strong. For me, that's the bike. The bike is honest. It doesn't care about my mood, my excuses, or my schedule. It reflects exactly what I put into it. No more, no less. And the beautiful part, it pays me back. Every climb gives me resilience. Every mile gives me clarity. Every ride gives me a little more identity and a reminder of who I am and who I'm becoming. And yeah, at 55 years old, I can still say who I'm becoming. Travis at 18 years old can say it too. And even my parents in their 80s can continue becoming. This is my hard, the good hard, the chosen hard, the hard that makes the rest of life's hard things feel just a little more manageable. Everyone needs a hard thing in their lives, something that asks for effort and then rewards that effort, a hard thing that shapes you without breaking you, something that reminds you that you're capable of more than you think. For me, that's cycling. For someone else, it may be running, lifting, painting, parenting, praying, building, creating, or simply just showing up for a day's work. I cycle because it's my hard thing that pays me back.
This is the fun part. Grizzlies are protected by state and federal law. So are folks. I wonder if the grizzly bear knows this. Maybe I can bunny hop it. Yeah, I was thinking about bunny hopping it, but walk it out of here. Hey, I'm fine. You coming? Yeah.
We're just gonna slide down the hill here for a little bit.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah. Great day to be outside,
In
guys.
with those. Christmas Lane. That way is. Not this way. All right. This will take us to 95.
Reason 4. I cycle because it takes time, and I'd rather spend that time now by choice than later by necessity. People ask me all the time, you have so much time on your hands to ride. I just don't have time. Last year, I spent 331 hours and 26 minutes riding 4,607 miles. Less than some, more than most. People say they don't have time to ride, but everyone has time. It just gets claimed by different things, either now or later. I ride today. It may take an hour, but here's the kicker. A doctor's appointment tomorrow? Well, that's going to take an hour too. We think we're busy now. Work, home, life, waiting on retirement when we'll finally have more time. Now, many of you know I'm a registered nurse. I spend a lot of time with people in their retirement years. And let me tell you the truth. Some of these folks are busy. Busy with doctor's appointments, counseling sessions, managing medications, trying to fall asleep at night, and then trying to wake up the next morning. And pain? Oh, there's plenty of pain. Pain now gives us gain. It lets us go and do more. The pain later, well, that steals from our spirit. It makes us stop and rest more. It's all about time. We'll spend time taking care of ourselves today or trying to fix ourselves later. 1 hour on this end of my life strengthens me. 1 hour on the other end of my life fixes me or just holds on to what little bit I have left. I'd rather invest now than recover later. Cycling is chosen time I spend on purpose, not time I'm forced to spend later in a waiting room, exam room, recovery room, and let's be honest, the bike is good medicine and never one that I have to avoid anything to take. I'll spend that time on the bike now, thank you very much. Reason 5. I cycle because it gives me time to spend with people I love. Though it's last on this list, it was the first reason I ever got into cycling as a way of life. My reason 5 is time with my son. Real time, side by side, matching cadence, sharing breath and road, and those little conversations that only happen when the world isn't rushing us. He's now 18, knocking on his 20s, his third decade of life. When I was hunting for a gift for his 13th birthday, I stumbled up on gravel bikes, bike packing. What? This is a thing? Why haven't I heard about this? Well, if he's getting one, I was getting one too. It wasn't a hard sell for my wife. His mama agreed to spend another $1,500 on a second birthday gift. She was convinced he'd ride off into the sunset on that James Renegade and all by himself. But if his father had his own gravel bike, well then, he'll be much safer on those sunset rides. Wherever did she get such a crazy idea? Travis is still yet to meet all the people in the world that he will love or who will love him back. He's working toward an engineer degree. Soon enough, family and work will begin to take center stage, as they should. It's the natural order of things. And when that time comes, many parents look back at the time they took for granted and say, I wish I'd have done things differently. We all will, just for different reasons. If you've ever ridden with your child, you know the conversations are wild. You'll be climbing a hill, gasping for air, and your kid will say something like, Daddy, do you think squirrels have best friends? And even though you want to say, Buddy, I'm just trying not to die here, you engage, you push through, and you have those little conversations just between the breaths. Cycling has been a way for my son and me to turn off the world and actually engage with each other in a way nothing else allows. You can't doom scroll a phone on a bicycle. You can't multitask. You're not talking to him while he's playing a video game or waiting on a text about tonight's plans with his group. You just ride together, problem solve together, camp together, eat together. Just spend the day or a week together. There's plenty of time that will be taken for granted. This is where I purposefully carve out time that I get with him all to myself. The shared effort bonds the relationship with that shared experience, one he and I often reminisce over. The ride becomes the conversation, and the miles, they become the memory.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
I want to add one more thing. The reason I do not ride. I do not ride to burn calories. I do not ride to earn food or beer. I do not ride as a penance for anything at all. Not for something I ate or drank or something I did or said. I've got this running joke. However many calories I burn on a bike today, I'm allowed to drink and beer tonight. One time I rode 206 miles in a single day. Someone said, "That's like 10,000 calories. How many beers is that?" And I said, "Well, I'm not sure, but whatever the number is, challenge accepted." But here's the truth behind the joke. I don't ride to cancel anything out. I don't ride to punish myself. I don't ride to balance some imaginary ledger. I ride because it fills me up, not because it empties anything out. And if I happen to enjoy a beer after the ride, well, that's not math. That's called celebration. So those are my 5 reasons, and my one non-reason for why I ride a bike. Meditation, stress relief, chosen difficulty, my hard, chosen time, spend it now, shared time with those that you love, and absolutely no calorie math. The bicycle ride is never to punish. If you ride, maybe your reasons overlap with mine. Maybe they don't, but whatever your reasons are, I hope you find your version of the good hard, the things that pay you back, the things that steadies you, the things that gives you time and takes you somewhere worth going.
Look at that!
We did make it to Bonners Ferry safe and sound, and sure enough, 4:02 p.m. came while I was holding my beer and enjoying my black-eyed peas. With a smile on my face, but not too much of a skip in my step, 4.5 hours in the saddle will slow those feet down for sure. Now go ride, or do your version of riding. Either way, choose your time on purpose. We'll see you next time on the Gravel Grinding Boys. Thanks for watching.